All right, I usually try to stick to about one video a week right now, but this in particular felt really important to me. It's been driving me fucking nuts thinking about it. Every single day, I'm losing sleep over this shit. It's actually affecting my mental health, but it feels too important to ignore. So I just wanted to get this one out here and this just felt too important to not do as soon as possible. Because every time I look at the news, it just gets worse, no matter what. And I don't make YouTube videos for money. I make them because I want to make them, because I believe in what I'm saying. And so I like to say what I really feel, what's really on my mind, and I don't want to hold back punches either. Even if it doesn't get me monetized, I don't really give a shit. Because as long as I'm speaking the truth, that's why I'm here. And I'm here to not bullshit people, but I want people to pay attention to what I'm saying. America is collapsing, not in a slow decline. It's not a little wobble down the road. This is the entire fucking engine seizing up, the chassis itself snapping in half, and the whole thing tumbling down a cliff into the abyss. We are watching the end of an empire in real time. And the worst part is that most of you are too busy shopping at the mall or at Target or at Walmart or fucking wherever the fuck you go to even give a shit. Nobody fucking cares. It's the apathy. That's a symptom of the rot. Let's start with the atrocities. The Trump regime is a machine designed to churn out misery. We're talking about ICE concentration camps. It's not about detention. It's about murder. Cold-blooded fucking murder. It's about families being ripped apart, people dying in custody, and the government treating human beings like cargo. And what's the justification? Law and order. Bullshit. It's just cruelty dressed up as policy. Look at our fucking clown show of a foreign policy. Trump didn't just attack countries. He kidnapped the president of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, to siphon off their oil and funnel it into his Qatari bank account. There was no war. This was a hit job. He didn't even have the balls to tell Congress before he did it, violating federal law and setting a precedent that our leaders can do whatever the fuck they want without oversight. And then there's the bullying of our allies, threatening to invade Greenland like a toddler throwing a tantrum because he didn't get the toy he wanted, that Nobel Peace Prize. He's not being awfully peaceful about it, now is he? He's isolating us from the rest of NATO, and then he threatened Canada to put a cherry on top. But the real kicker is the bombing of Iran. And you have to ask, why are we bombing Iran? Because Israel has dirt on Trump. They have evidence of him molesting children, so they're using him like a fleshlight to help them commit genocide. That's it. That's the foreign policy. We are slaughtering innocent people in the Middle East, men, women, and children, just so the greater state of Israel can expand its territory. And what do Americans think about this? Well, the polls show on the lowest numbers, around 5% approve of the bombing of Iran, us getting involved out there. And then the highest number is 28%. So the overwhelming majority of Americans do not support this forever war. Most Americans want nothing to do with it. Most Americans understand that Trump has gone too far. Approval is in the shit for him. We are sick of this forever war. But the government doesn't care because they don't work for us. They work for the defense contractors. But it's not just about the war. It's the apathy. I remember when Israel thermal bombed all of those people, I believe in the Gaza Strip. It was right before Valentine's Day. And then Valentine's Day rolled around and I see all these people just out shopping, just, acting like everything is fucking normal, just being their, consumer capitalist selves, just pretending that because it doesn't affect them. So why the fuck should they care? Because half Americans don't even seem to fucking pay attention that much to politics to begin with. They only care when it affects them. And that's part of the corruption. That's part of the rot. That's part of the system. That's what they want. It makes me sick to my fucking stomach. Too many people just ignore the news because that's what they want. They want to be sedated. They want to be ignorant. And the people who do pay attention, we're so divided that we can't agree on basic facts. We're like two different species trapped in the same country screaming past each other without ever listening. Our reputation is in the shitter. We used to be the land of the free and the home of the brave. Now we're the land of the scarred, the home of the tyrant. Our democracy is rotting from the inside out. The only chance we have is the midterms. But guess what? Trump isn't waiting for the election. He's already trying to rig the whole thing by pushing voter ID laws and spreading lies about rampant cheating. And then try to intimidate people from voting in the first place by placing ICE, Gestapo, Nazi thugs at the polls to try and ward people off from trying to cast their fucking vote. It's illegal, it's immoral, and it's the death throes of a corrupt system. And let's look at the promises. What has Trump actually done that he said he promised he would do when he was running in 2024? He said he would end the war in Ukraine on day one. He didn't. He said he would lower the price of groceries. Beef prices are up to 15% year over year. He said he would lower housing costs. The housing market is a fucking joke. You can't buy a shoebox in a city for less than a kidney. He said he wouldn't start new wars, yet he's in the middle of a genocide in the Middle East right now. He said he'd release the Epstein files, but he didn't. He waited until he was backed into a corner and then redacted the shit out of them. When people found dirt on him, they redacted it further to protect the tyrant. He's a pussy, plain and simple. He's a child molester. He is the worst of the worst. He's the symptom of the worst parts, the worst traits of any human being. He is the worst of it. America is ran by a cabal of billionaire pedophiles and tech oligarchs. Our food sucks. Our cost of living is a nightmare. Our education system is in the toilet, and most people have given up because they're too desensitized to the lies. They've been lied to so many times that they don't even fucking care anymore. Meanwhile, the cogwheels of this corrupt system turn, grinding us into dust. Where does it end? Republicans are just straight up evil, and they don't care about you. They only care about power, and the most Democrats are just fucking pussies. Most of them. They're too busy trying to be bipartisan while the country burns. They're like Diet MAGA, I've heard it called. It's kind of funny because it's so true. I see no positive end in sight to this. I try to hold on to hope. I really do. But the evidence is so overwhelming. Our future is more uncertain than it's ever been. But I want the best for us. I want the best for this country. We need to wake the fuck up. We need to stop saying, I don't really like politics, so I'll just ignore it. There is no end to it. If you ignore it, you lose it. We need to vote in the midterms. We need to push back against this garbage. We need to wake the fuck up, America. I implore every single one of you to reach out to your state representatives, to anyone impossible, even in your own personal life. You need to spread the word. Whatever you can fucking do, do it. Whether you think your vote matters or not, do something. It's better than being complacent in a system that wants you fucking dead. You're a meat grinder. You're a machine. You're there to make money for the billionaires, the Epstein class. They view nothing more as financial cattle. Wake up. If you made it this far, please leave a comment, drop a like, whatever the fuck, subscribe. I don't give a shit. At the least, thanks for listening, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.